could almost see tears in his eyes. I think I had tears in my eyes. And I had such respect for that gentleman. To see him, after all those years, to rise to the top of the mountain was quite an experience.
The greatest part of all was that's tough. I guess the fact really of just the great teammates that you won and lost together, celebrated and cried about.
Every guy in here made a commitment. You know you did. There were times when it was dark. It was really dark. We turned back into each other's face and committed to each other. You knew we had to do it this way. This is the greatest feeling in the world. Is it not? 39 days. Hey, I share this with every one of you guys. Everyone in this room made a commitment, and we're there. And no one can ever take it away from us, ever!
It was just a tremendous feeling. I mean, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
On leaving that Coliseum that day, I think I turned around and looked at the scoreboard, and it said Dolphins world champions. 17-0 just happened. You know, there was no script, no plans. It just happened, no explaining it. Whether it happens ever again or not, you know, it's just have to wait and see.
John Facenda saying, "Here comes Marcus Allen running with the night." Yeah, it's a good memory.
On came Marcus Allen, running with the night.
When you see everybody run out and embrace him, it's at that point in time when I think that the team realized that we were going to be world champions. The sheer delight, almost to a degree of frivolity, that's a picture that I think will linger for quite a while.
That was a feeling that you can't buy. You couldn't spend $100 million to buy that feeling. No way. It made me feel wonderful, and it was so wonderful. I just could not believe we finally did it. We finally did it.
So I think the first one was the absolutely quintessential moment of all Steeler time, and it will remain so.
There's something that champions have that you can only get by being in it, getting kicked around, until you say you don't want to get kicked around anymore.
The second one was as sweet as the first, and the third one was as sweet as the second. All of those are lies. There's nothing like the first one. Nothing. That was our first time saying we were champions. There's nothing like it.
Walking off the field after the Super Bowl and my helmet in the air, I thought about from which I've come, from the rocky roads of Zachary, Louisiana, through Grambling, through Tampa, losing my wife, the USFL, and finally getting an opportunity to play in Washington. So many things went through my mind walking off that field.
When people ask you to describe what it feels like to win a Super Bowl, I don't know that anybody can adequately describe that. 87 was unquestionably the most frustrating, disappointing, thrilling, and satisfying season all in one.
40 Renegades together, you know. Really happy for everybody around you, happy for John. John, how's it feel?
It's great. Great. Waited a long time for it.
This ring, I'm sure, means the same thing to almost all of my teammates. So proud it says world champion, Oakland Raiders.
No one can ever take it away from you. In 1976, we won this ring, and it's always ours. But bigger than the ring is the memory. You earned it, and you earned it by playing hard, and you earned it by winning, and you earned it by being a champion.
You're the world champ. You are. You are. You're the world champ.
never doubted.
Everybody was ecstatic, and they were excited.
A few moments in my life, I'll always be in the moment. I'll be there when my kids were born. You know, I'll be there when a lot of tragic things have happened to our country and other things in my life. But for me, I will always, you know, be in that season, in that moment.
Because of that moment, I will always believe greatness comes from having people come together for a common cause.
Superbowl champ!
In my mind, what was emblazoned there was Terry Bradshaw, name it, running off the field, waving his finger. And at that moment, ball went up, finger went up, and we were champions of the world.
For the first time since 1942, the Washington Redskins have an NFL championship.
World champ!
Everybody sold out this week. Everybody. Damn, it's great, isn't it?
When Ronnie said, man, doesn't it feel great? It felt like heaven, you know, after, you know, what we went through that whole year.
I feel like I'm in heaven right now. You know, it's my second Super Bowl title. I tell you, we worked so hard. We deserve it. We overcame all the adversities throughout the year, and we just pulled together.
It takes a lot of guts to do that.
Players like Ronnie Lott and Joe Montana, who have 4 of these, always say that the first one is the most important, the one that means the most to them, and that's true. This ring sits in my safe deposit box. I'm scared to death to take it out. The money goes, the fame goes, but they can never take this away from you. And it's something that still gives me goosebumps.
Said, gosh, we just won the Super Bowl. But really, it was the getting there that really was what made it so special.
It's the struggle of getting there. It's not as much having got it, but it's all that going through it, all the obstacles you've had to overcome to get something that hard.
That's it! St. Louis, the gateway to the West, is now the gateway to the best football team in the world!
He wanted to be the first to tell me. That's what it seemed like.
You're a world champion, buddy. You're a world champion. Wow. What do you think?
Seeing that trophy was like meeting a celebrity. You know, you see him on TV, but here it is right here, and you get to touch it and hold it, and it's yours.
Champion. You have caused me some stress. We got the trophy. You have caused me some stress in my life. Now you're here. Ah!
All our guys on the sideline, running on the field, jumping up and down. I just was in disbelief.
Perhaps no one was more stunned than John Elway. After carrying the Broncos for so many years, his team finally carried him to the only distinction he ever really wanted, world champion.
After 15 years of work and 3 Super Bowl losses and all the different things that I'd gone through in my career, to finally reach the pinnacle of your sport and what you love to do, it's hard to explain. And because I still get shivers when I think about it. I still get shivers because I can remember exactly how it felt. And that's why the whole thing took me so long to really realize the impact of what had really happened. I had finally reached the pinnacle, and that's to be able to say that I was on a Super Bowl winning team.
When our guys started jumping up, it was just, Went over to hug the coach, and he asked for a ride.
Take me for a ride. You go, nigga. Let's go. Let's take this.
I think when it really hit me was standing up on the podium with
my 2 boys and my wife who was pregnant with our 3rd, and realizing that 6 weeks earlier, I was sitting at a table telling my wife that was it. You know, that kind of hit. They said it can't be done, it won't be done. It was done. Something that they said would never happen, couldn't happen. Here we are. We've won the Super Bowl.
To be on the podium at the end of a Super Bowl game with Reggie White and Brett Favre, it's something that, man, it could almost bring a young man to tears.
Trent Dilfer's unbreakable spirit made him a world champion, but he had to hoist the trophy with a hand he'd broken earlier in the game.
Maybe the significance of hoisting up the Lombardi with the bandaged hands is to achieve anything great, you gotta go through a lot of pain. I think it always feels better when you achieve something after you've endured a lot. And that it's a lesson that not everybody wants to learn because they don't want to go through the pain, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
I had seen so many people hold that trophy.
Coach, it's been an incredible ride. Thank you.
I wanted to know what it felt like, and so to have it in my hand, it's like, oh man. It's heavier than I thought, you know, it's shinier than I thought. And to kiss it, the kiss was like, oh. My wife will kill me, but it was one of the best kisses that I've ever had.
I played this game to win a championship. I'm a champion, and I think the bus is, the last stop is here in Detroit.
We're world champs, baby! We're world champs! Give me that! There you go, give me that!
Brooks gets it, and I meet him in the end zone, and I grab him by the head, and I'm holding him, and he's crying, and I look at him, I say, you stop it, son of a... We had the biggest prize of our life, and you just scored. You stop that. You gonna make me cry, too.
You know, you become such a tight family, really, and you've been through a lot, and your dream is to someday hoist that trophy, and right then, the realization that we were going to, it all just hit.
It was like a fairy tale.
It doesn't matter what title you have when you go into a Super Bowl. It doesn't matter if you're the underdog or you're the favorite. You just take it in like it never happened before.
This is everything. We waited so long. I waited 10 years for this. It's unbelievable. Best feeling in the world. This is what football is about.
You can have Pro Bowls, you can have all pros, you can make a lot of money, but nothing beats that feeling at the end of the game when the confetti comes on your head knowing that you're a world champion.
The Pittsburgh Steelers did it the hard way.
When I turned around and remember seeing Megan and then Lauren. I'll never forget Lauren's word and says, "Daddy, we're world champions," and that was special. You know, I mean, that's, you know, it's just, it's very special, and you know, because those 4 girls, they've been there through a lot of loss, and you know, that was a special moment.
My girl! On the count of 2, let's give a big high five. Everybody know. 1, 2, 3.
I've been waiting a long time to do this. Mr. Rooney, this is yours, man.
Bill Cowher finally had delivered the Steelers' 5th Super Bowl trophy.